Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me again today. Welcome back to Sow Love. I'm so glad that you are here and on this journey with me. So today we are making our own potting soil mix. So I've used this mix for seed starting. I've used it for transplanting. It really is an awesome mix in my opinion. So what I'm going to mix is some peat moss, which I picked up this huge bag from Lowe's. I'm going to use some perlite, which is good for drainage. It allows air to get into the soil. Peat moss also is good for drainage. It gives you a nice fluffy light potting soil mix. I'm going to use topsoil, and then I'm also going to use some mushroom compost. Compost is really an awesome thing to use for everything. But the topsoil and the mushroom compost will give it a little bit of weight because peat moss is a little bit too light and airy. The compost and the topsoil will allow it to hold on to some water, which of course the seed starts or the plants need. As y'all know, I do have a worm farm that I just started this year. It's not quite ready for worm tea. So I purchased some worm tea concentrate, and all I did was mix like a cap full of this into my water, which I'll water that in, which y'all know worm tea, worm castings are awesome for your soil. It provides really good bacteria and nutrients and really gives your plants a good boost. So I'll be mixing that in also. So I have my soil mixing bucket. Now I would normally be in my greenhouse to do this, but since all of my bags are back here, it's just easier so I don't have to lug everything. So I have a shovel and we're ready to mix. So I'm gonna turn the camera down so you can see better. I have a better view of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in some peat moss. And it's pretty much like a 1-to-1 ratio with everything. And I'll show you what you're looking for once everything is mixed together. So I don't normally measure, I just kind of eyeball. So the peat moss, drop that in. I'm going to break that up a little bit. And what I do is work in layers. So I'll add the first layer of everything in this bucket that I mixed everything in. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good size, but I mix as I go. I'll do one layer and then I'll add in another layer of everything. So there's my perlite. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some mushroom compost. And maybe one more of those handfuls. Mix everything as you go. That way you get it to be a nice even mix. Any big chunky things you want to break up. But you can see the mushroom compost is helping to hold the mixture together better than peat moss would have done on its own. Okay, so that's looking pretty good without even any water in it yet. So now I'm going to add in some topsoil. Now my local garden center was out of the organic topsoil. So if you can get organic, get organic. But I've used this before also and it does okay. Alright, so I'm gonna mix that in with my hands and then I'm gonna water it in. I've already put my cap full of the worm tea into the water. So I'm gonna water this in. And we'll give it a good mix. You don't want to put too much water in your potting mix because of course you are going to add more water when you do your seed start. So in terms of what you're looking for, You want it to be kind of crumbly, right? Kind of hold together a little bit when you squeeze it. But when you squeeze it, you don't want water to drip down, okay? So that's a pretty good amount of water. So I have room for one more layer. Make this really worth my time and fill my bucket up. So I'm gonna add in some more peat moss. So you can see the difference of the mix with just the peat moss. So between the mushroom compost and the topsoil mix, it gave it a nice rich brown color. So I'm gonna add in some more mushroom compost. Go ahead and add these in as well. And I got everything that I'm using from Lowe's. That's just my go-to normally. Of course, you can probably find things online, especially with everything going on. But in terms of, my go-to place has usually been Lowe's to find everything. All right, now I'm going to turn this in gently. Put in a little bit too much on that last pass. So I've already mixed the bottom half, so I'm really just worried about this top layer. And you can definitely use a shovel. I really like getting my hands in just to make sure everything is mixed in well. This is about good. So I'm gonna go ahead and water everything in. Now what would probably be even better is putting down some type of tarp to catch some of the soil that you might drop, but that last pour kind of got away from me. So it's all good. So we're mixing and we're just about done with this mix. So of course from here, you're ready to do seed starts, you're ready to transplant, you're ready to pretty much do anything you want with this particular mix. It's been very successful for me out here in my garden so far. All right, so again, in terms of texture, it's about what you're looking for. And you want to make sure you mix everything in really good. Okay. So there's our potty mix. Thank you so much again for being here with me. I hope you learned something. I do hope that you try making your own potty mix this season. It's done really well so far for me in my garden. Please let me know if you give it a try, and I will see you in the next video. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.